How's it going, everybody? I needed to take a minute after the first Professor X saga was launched because my quick jump was to irritation and a little bit of anger. In this video, we're going to talk about why that is. I do have with me Ceci, who has completed the entire saga fourth, and Scotty sitting in as well because we've been kind of brainstorming things and looking at different characters and gathering a lot of information for you guys. So I want to share that with you as level-headed as possible. So what's going to happen is if I start to tilt, Ceci and or Scotty, probably they're both going to dogpile on me until I feel bad and shut up. Because I've asked them to do that. Okay? So,
that's fair.
First thing I want to talk about is...
At least we got the snort in there.
Yeah. Successful video immediately. The first thing I want to talk about is this Race to X milestone. So this is like Professor X. This is where we're getting his red stars. You will only complete this if you 100% beat this event within the 30 days. I want to say Odin's was either 45 or 60 days long. So it's the same sort of thing, but a tighter timetable. But what we don't see here is that we had so much more prep time for Odin than we do Professor X. There's going to be very few people that complete this in the time range as opposed to the Odin. And I have mixed feelings about that. On one hand, I'm like, damn, I'm probably going to finish this within 60 or 90 days. I'm going to miss out on a lot of these. At the same time, I would greatly prefer them give, power creep away this way instead of overpowered. I'm so Ceci's got a lot of thoughts on overpowered. So this I think
not
is
getting
fun.
involved.
Not getting involved. No comment. Plead the fifth.
No,
Done.
No.
All right, one thing before we get into the gameplay that I completely forgot to bring up is you have to do these sequentially. So you have to do the Nimrod saga before the Gladiator saga, before the Shadow King saga, at any difficulty. I thought it was going to be do easy on Nimrod, do easy on Gladiator, easy on Shadow King, easy on Professor X, because that's how the Apocalypse saga worked. For the Apocalypse saga, you didn't have to complete all three difficulties in order to move on to the Rogue One. You could just do what you were able to do. In fact, most people built up their Gamma team before anything else because Gamma was that influential. Just wanted to add that in here. It's another change that I'm not a huge fan of, but just so everyone knows, you should build your city hero team first, or your city team first. Then you should build your global villain second, and then your global heroes third, and then cosmic villains fourth, because that's how you're going to min-max the amount of helmets you get in order to get more Professor X red stars. Which, again, it would have been great if they told us this sort of thing, because when they said it's like a saga, people started acting like it was going to be like the last saga. But, oh well. All right, let's go look at the gameplay. One thing that I found when I started my Professor X saga was that I had a absolute horrible time on the easiest difficulty on the last node until I unlocked Silver Sable and brought her in. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to look at the harder nodes. Ceci's going to walk us through a couple of the teams that he used, a couple of the nodes that he faced, the problematic nodes. He'll talk about his overall experience, and we'll have some, honestly, probably some team suggestions / mandatory picks for you guys, or mandatory not picks for you guys. So why don't we start this off with the city section, Ceci? Why don't you show us we should talk about the second last node is the hard one, right?
That second last note's the hardest note by far.
Okay. So why don't we do this with and without Silver Sable? And you can pick whoever you want. Now, you know what? A lot of people would pick Goblin. Why don't we grab Gobby?
Yeah, because Elektra's useless.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about your experience with Elektra?
No, I accidentally went into a node with her, and it was garbage. It was horrible. And I skipped out on Punisher, and there was no damage. It was awful. Or was it Sable? One of the two. No, it was Sable, and it was awful. No damage.
Okay. So Punisher good though. So I actually geared tier 20.
Punisher good.
My Punisher immediately just because he was cheap. I was like, well, you know what? The rest of the Vigilante members aren't that great. And honestly, I would have been right, except they sneakily added some extra buffs to the Vigilante team in here. Do you know what the buffs were, or should I go through them?
No, you should probably go through them because I think their raid buffs were active.
Yeah, but not just that.
No, there were more.
Yeah, so not just were their raid buffs active, but they took off all of the required member counts. So Daredevil isn't supposed to have all those buffs unless he has 4 Vigilante members with him. Silver Sable, she's not supposed to give speed bar unless she's got 4 Vigilante members with her. And more importantly, she is not supposed to give away, or rather take away all their buffs with her ultimate, which was absolutely huge on the node that I was struggling with. I literally couldn't beat it until I brought the Sable in and did that. Uh, so what was this node like when you did come in with Silver Sable and Punisher? Was this like the other nodes where it felt like it was very much autoplay?
Yeah. No, this was definitely not autoplay. You had to pay attention because you had to push this Thanos early.
Okay.
And then basically then try and take care of them so you don't get stuck behind the Miss Marvel.
Okay.
Uh, which was the difficult part. And there's a second Thanos that drops after this one.
Okay.
And you have to be careful with him as well.
Okay. But this is pretty good. So Punisher did work on that Miss Marvel right away. Love to see that.
Yes.
But
But now I'm going to lose Goblin. Yeah.
Yeah. Striker attack. Okay, at least they don't have a billion life, so that's good. Blinded. That's good too. Lots of energy still went. Oof. Quicksilver's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And there he goes.
Oh.
Oh, still, yeah. Well, yeah. So, all right, you might as well back out and let's show this with Silver Sable now. So, I mean, like it's kind of fair just to think like new stat characters like the Ares, right? Post Ares characters. It makes sense that you would want to lean more into them. It's just I honestly thought because of the city section and we didn't have all that many post Ares characters, I didn't think they would go as like heavy-handed as just be like, okay, Vigilante characters are going to get their raid buffs, and they're going to get non-member requirement buffs, and we're just not going to tell anybody. We're just going to put it in there and see what happens. Like, I could imagine. And there's like that for the Global Hero section, too, which is kind of funny. So, I don't know. Scotty, how do you feel about that? Just, again, it always comes down to we just don't get enough communication. The biggest issues are always just a lack of communication. What do you think?
Why doesn't it say it on the notes?
Yeah.
Like, no, that's a good question.
One thing not to tell us ahead of time, which is super shady.
Yeah.
But like I was like expected this thing to go live and then be like, oh, let's like confirm whether it's there or not. But it's not there to confirm anywhere. Like I've looked. So like people are just wouldn't know really that they were there until you went in and people had to be the guinea pigs. And I think that's really poopy.
Yeah, me too. So as you guys just saw, because the speed bar happened, Silver Sable and Punisher went before the Night Stalkers did. Silver Sable's ultimate put defense down on everybody, and Punisher literally killed everybody. So I guess here the good news here is I don't think Hitmonkey is okay. We know Hitmonkey's not a requirement. I don't think Daredevil is a requirement here either. I think most people will be able to choose between Hitmonkey and Daredevil who they want to bring. Do you think that's well? I mean, you haven't really played with Hitmonkey yet. Do you think that's a fair statement, or do you think Daredevil does a lot of work here?
The healing definitely helps a lot.
Okay. So just pooping all over my theory? Fine, be that way.
No, you can see him healing a little bit. It's helpful.
So what Hitmonkey would do here, though, is he would be giving you energy after every death.
So, and that's when it goes to shit.
Oof. So I think Hitmonkey is a better character because Hitmonkey would have been giving you energy this whole time, and you would have had your Silver Sable ultimate back up.
Mm-hmm.
But
would you do Hitmonkey over Daredevil or Hitmonkey over Punisher?
If you haven't done Punisher already, you would do Hitmonkey over Punisher. If you did Punisher already, probably over the Daredevil. Because at the end
of this is the node that's hard, right? That you're talking about? Is this the node that's hard?
Yeah, this is a difficult node. And obviously there's probably some misplays in here.
Yeah, well, it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we know you got through it.
That's the team to take. Yeah. It took like 4 tries. 4 tries,
okay. And Hitmonkey would make it easier because of the energy generation. So your Silver Sable would just be ult and your Punisher would be ulting every time.
When is he out?
Probably next week. He's not out this week, so probably next week. All right, Sissy, why don't we head on over to the global villain? Because this is the section that there's not much guidance on. There are no, apparently, according to the data mines, no hidden buffs on these nodes. So you just went in with Orcus Apocalypse, and you said you auto-played it, right?
Yes, completely auto-played it.
All right, why don't
we... Do you want to see it with Fred?
Yeah, let's go with Fred. We'll go.
I can never unhear it.
Yeah. It's never gonna go away now. This is just a cheaper mutant pick at the end of the day, right? And also a Cosmic Crucible character. A lot of people will probably be interested in having a Gear 20 for overpowered reasons, right? All
I don't
right.
talk about overpowered.
Scotty, would you want your Fred at gear 20 for overpowered?
I don't know. Some jerk maybe put him on defense last round, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's just for this season. This season is a weird season.
And then he's like, "What do you have?" And I'm like, "I have all the things that you took away."
But this is crazy. Look at this damage. Just absolutely walking over the enemy. And the global villain section does not have a big boss to fight, right? They kind of just like threw in global villain in the global tab or whatever you would want to call it, I guess.
I'd still rather do full Orcus over Fred.
Yeah, you think the 2-cost Lady Deathstrike? I mean, I would probably do Lady Deathstrike over Omega Sentinel is what I would do. Because the way I'm looking at it, based on what we're seeing, especially based on what we're about to go look at on the global hero section, I'm looking for mutants to upgrade. Is my thing here. Because I'm sure we're going to get a mutant leaderboard soon. And then it's going to be like, okay, I don't have enough tech because we're going to have to bring Falcon to global hero. I probably am going to be doing a lot of Orcus members, so tech is already going to be pretty scarce. Also, it comes down to RNG and what you get from the coin store too, right? Like that's the big oof. that's what people don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, as you see, even with a couple just quick misplays, I mean, that was easy peasy.
Yeah,
no issues.
Absolutely walked over it. All right, why don't we go to the global hero boss, and you show me what it would be like if we try and lean into a mutant team, in particular, an Old Man Logan mutant team for the global hero. Because that was my gut. My gut said, I don't want to do Liberty because I know they're a war team. I know they're great, but I'd rather dabble in a bunch of different modes. I want to do like a Nightcrawler, a Storm, an Old Man Logan. And then you showed me something that made me visibly cringe and cry just a little bit.
Okay.
So
here we go.
I love these characters that he's about to use. I love Nightcrawler. I love Old Man Logan. Emma Frost. We use her everywhere now to stop speed stat. Jean Grey looks like she's going to be great with Professor X. Storm, again, great with Professor X. So I kind of wanted to use these characters. Watch what happens on this boss node. And you didn't experience this firsthand, right? These are just kind of spare characters that you had? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shadow King clones all your characters and they get 100% turn bar.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that fun?
And now we wait.
You won't have to wait long.
Oh, I get a turn.
Oh, hey, your Old Man Logan's actually going to get to go. This is perfect.
Hey, Storm, how you doing?
How you doing?
So in the last 2 times where Ceci went in here and did this, his entire team was dead before he got a turn. Old Man Logan died before he got a turn every single time. So this is actually the best RNG so far. And then there's the Old Man Logan ult. And I don't think you're going to 3-star this one, Ceci. Do you need to 3-star the bosses, by the way?
Unfortunately, you do.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
recommended Old Man Logan.
Yeah. Do not recommend Old Man Logan.
No. So it's even better. What they suggest, Liberty, right? And so you're like, okay, Liberty, Old Man Logan, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what that looks like.
Oh no, because Old Man, he's such a good hero character, used in every game mode, using any sort of PvE content that we come across. We want to use Old Man Logan. So the benefit here, I saw this when you brought in some mutants, and when you brought in the Illuminati. The enemy clones are not spawning in with speed up, which is cool, but they do spawn with 100% speed bar, so it doesn't help you very much.
No. And now we wait for death.
He just goes first. What? It's not even that the enemy Falcon goes first, who's a faster character. For some reason, Old Man Logan went before the enemy Falcon. The enemy Patriot went before the enemy Falcon, but Falcon is just the fastest character there. My lordy lord, it just doesn't make sense. You got to make this make sense. Okay, so why don't you show us the team that you did bring in here? Because that is going to be the team that I'm going to be suggesting people use. Because I love those characters. Not a lot of people are gonna like being sort of forced to build up their Liberty team, which is a war team, as well as being forced to build up their Vigilante team, which is a raid team. But let's talk about Liberty. They have some use in Crucible, right?
Yes, they work excellent as a double sack for a specific team, and they're a good defensive little team.
Yeah, they're good at sapping efficiency to put them on the defense.
Yeah.
All right, so you subbed in Emma Frost X-Men here. Who this I was
Right.
like, okay, oh, at least we could use Emma Frost X-Men. Amazing character. Speed stat reduction on the really strong Astral team, which is kind of an everywhere team right now. Definitely top 10. And how hard or easy was this node now?
Oh, it was easy after this.
Yeah, because I think your Falcon, you see, you get speed up, but when you take a turn, the enemy team does not get the speed up. I think I noticed that. They just have their speed bar. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. You might need to reset until Falcon doesn't get destroyed. Okay, yeah, he's gone.
Okay.
This is a great opportunity to talk about why the Saga has some benefits on Dark Dimension. You don't have to wait 24 hours to try again, right? You lost, you go right back in. It's not draining cores from people. It's certainly trying to make you bring in certain characters, though.
No, and the other thing that I really like about it's not as long. It's like those long nodes just kind of drain on you after a while.
Yeah. Oh, but okay, speaking of long, how did it feel having to do the easy section in every single thing, then the medium section, and then the hard section?
It was obnoxious.
It was pretty obnoxious. Yeah, I felt that too.
Yeah.
I only did one chapter, and I was like, God damn, this is taking a long time. All right, let's see who Peggy Carter is going to obliterate. Captain Sam's going to go. So now Falcons or Patriots going to go. Their turn bar is never the same. They're never going in some sort of like understandable sequence. The enemy characters are just going at random.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Okay, so they did get speed up, actually. The Falcon did get speed up.
And it's not something you really notice until, well, I only played it the one time, so you don't notice.
Okay. At least your team goes the way they're supposed to go. All right, that's lots of speed for you. More heals for you is good. That ability lock on Emma doesn't seem very fun, though.
No, but it'll be fine.
Oh, wow, like you're just lapping people now. Oh, there goes all their barrier. Crushing their life. You got the cleanse there because you dropped low enough. You can kill who you want. Yeah, you're going to go for the Emma. Cool. Mind control. That's great. Shadow King's trying to ruin your day, make you have to reset it.
Of course he is. So why not?
All right. Oh, another special hit, everybody. Great. I noticed your Peggy Carter is going for the Shadow King instead of the lowest life character. That's kind of trolly.
Pretty much.
Yeah, look at it. She should have took the Emma down there, but she just refuses. She's just refusing to do what she's supposed to do.
Unbelievable.
He got stunned for 2 turns for some reason. I'm not sure why. And then you just win here. Okay, so I mean, this is definitely a workable team. This is probably not the worst case scenario because then you're going to have like a master key in war. And they're going to be the thing for 3 years. So it's not the end of the world. Vigilante, honestly, Silver Sable being mandatory, also not the worst thing in the world. Because he does have plug-and-play value now against sort of like anything that lowers your focus for any team. So that's kind of
cool. And we do use her in war. So there's that.
Yeah, there's definitely a way to use her in war. All right, let's check out the Cosmic Villains. Because we were doing this team and we were looking for sort of economical ways. Why don't you tell us about the first team you took through, and then we'll talk about the alteration we made to try and save some Mystic gear, I guess. How did this go for you?
This one, basically auto.
Yeah.
No issues.
Yeah. And the big thing here, and Scotty, you brought this up right away. It's like, man, Null and Mephisto, expensive Mystic characters. Odin's an expensive Mystic character. Oath and Blade, unless you're bringing full Vigilante, they kind of seem like they're necessary for the city section too, right? So what was going through your head when you saw all the Mystic characters here, Scotty?
That he used, I went, oh, I'm not doing this for a long time. But like being able to leave out Null or Mephisto, it looks like, is helpful for sure.
Yeah. So what Ceci ended up doing there to do a little bit of testing for us is he came in there with Shadow King. So Shadow King, I believe, is a 4-cost character, but he's mutant. And so far, like, we got Ceci to stick in Fred, Omega Redface for us, if you will. So that he's a 3-piece. And then Emma, well, she's a 3-piece. And then we have Shadow King, who's a 4-piece. So we're still only at 3 mutants on all the sections so far. So then you start looking at the Cosmic Hero section, juices get flowing. What it comes down to, in my opinion, is Mystic is heavy, skill is extremely heavy. Tech is heavy because you just want to bring the whole Orcus team, basically. So it's like, what can I do between bio and mutant characters? How can I balance that to get in here as quickly as possible? Gore and Gladiator, great picks here. I'll tell you firsthand, I got overpowered by a Gladiator. He 1v5 my entire Immortal team in Crucible. And I wasn't mad, raging, or throwing my phone at the wall at all. I swear to God, I was a very measured response. Son of a bitch. Okay, so
Overpowered's great.
Overpowered's great. If you're overpowered, it's great.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, is how am I going to balance mutant and bio characters? There's 2 great bio characters here. You're going to show us what you used on the Cosmic Hero section, and we'll talk about the other option that we found there as well. But why don't you show us Shadow King in action here? And we did it with both Null and Mephisto. Why don't you show us with Null?
Which one do you want to see?
Yeah, let's do Null, because that was kind of the sketchy-ish one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you take over, or when you take over, then it's fine. But until that time, it was pretty sketchy. So I would probably be recommending Mephisto over Null, at least for now, based on what you guys are about to see. And notice, this is a 3-diamond Shadow King. If you're like me, and you cored the heck out of his store, and you got his Red Stars, because he's not available in the Red Star store yet, you could have him at 7. I think a 7 Red Star would be fine. I would be maybe a little bit worried if he was 4 or 5 Red Stars. You're about to see why.
Assuming Panda nukes him.
Mm-hmm. I thought pandas were supposed to be lazy.
I know, right?
And this one, you were laughing at me because it was like, why don't you bring Shadow King in? And you're like, well, then I can't hit autoplay.
Exactly.
So with
have
the
to
2
put
mystics,
effort in.
Yeah, with the 2 mystics autoplay. But look at Shadow King. Shadow King here, he did go to about 60% life. I believe he actually heals up before it matters now, because you're going to start busting out ults. And the part where you have to play up to is where your Null does his special. You need to do special to get your Carnage in action. Oh, well, Panda revived. Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate Panda.
I'm not allowed to say that as a veterinarian, Scotty.
I don't deal with pandas.
There's the Rain of Fire, so Red Goblin's gone, a bunch of people are dead, and now the Carnage passive from Null is taking over. So the big question mark here is, would your Shadow King survive those 2 big Panda hits? Because if you do, I think you would rebalance up. You could eventually, Shadow King's going to hit his ult here. He's probably going to end this match at full life. He's also probably going to do a lot of damage with that ultimate as well. But with Mephisto, would you guys agree he makes it super safe? Because he gives you death proofs and defense up on your Shadow King?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So probably a personal decision people need to make.
That's boring.
Yeah, you know how to play now. There you go. Look at that null. And this is a lower level null. By the time a lot of people are reaching this section, you might have your null at 5 or 6 yellow stars, right? Because we should be getting 5-star null this week.
How many shards do we get this week?
If it's the same as always, we'll get 100, which will be enough to bring him up to 5 stars. But in the blog, it talked about ways to get like extra goodies and stuff, and they instituted a new skill node apparently via the data mines. So maybe there's gonna be null shards in there if you have your vigilante characters built up, presumably. All right, well, why don't we end this off just by doing some cosmic hero nodes? We could show the team that you did it with, which is the Star Jammers, which is a nice hodgepodge of different tags. And then we could show the Absolute A-Force, which allows you to bring in some more bio characters, which I thought was interesting.
Did you say you'd prefer to take Mephisto over Null or the reverse? I missed it.
Because I have a 7 red star Shadow King, I would rather take in Null. Personally. But if I'm you with a 4 red star Shadow King, I'm not risking it. I'm taking in Mephisto.
Rude.
It's not rude. It's just a state of fact. Get it
Well,
right.
and the thing is you don't want to get stuck. Like, if you take Old Man Logan in Liberty, you're going to get stuck on that node, and you're just going to sit there until you can bring up Emma.
Yep.
Which is going to feel bad.
Yep.
I heard someone pulled it off with him.
Yeah, I'm told someone pulled it off too, but I'm not buying it after what we saw.
Yeah, it seems very unlikely. Okay, so this is a team that I had asked you to try. So we're adding another Mystic character here. And then we're adding in 2 bio characters, right? So Miss Marvel Classic and Medusa are bio characters. You went in here, and this was perfectly fine. Maybe we'll just play half the node since it's a long node. But this is the penultimate node. This is the Dark Xavier node, right? How did it feel working your way through this one?
It's fine. Once you realize you can't target him and you have to kill all the other buddies, it's okay.
Okay.
Especially since you can't click on him.
It doesn't sound like you had all that much fun doing this. You were kind of just going through the motions here. What's going on?
That's all it was. It was awful. There was really no thinking to 90% of it, 99% of it.
I was literally just bring in the best teams and you're good. Okay, well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't love that either. Oh man. I think that they have enough tools they can make interesting nodes without having to lean into these war rules and crucible rules and all that kind of stuff, but All right, so it's your enemy Xavier got your Odin to do his assist. So right away you get the battlefield up and you just start ripping through people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Rogue is... Oh, no, sorry, not Rogue. I don't even know who you just killed. You just hair whipped somebody to death. And then Odin just doing Odin stuff. Now, there are a couple like, tasty waves here. Wait, why is the other wave not spawning yet? That sucks.
Yeah, that would have been nice to have her
ult right away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a couple spicy waves here, though, which is pretty interesting. Also, I saw a regular Shuri. Was there not a Black Panther Shuri on this node? Did they mess up and put the old Shuri in here? That's kind of hilarious if that was the case. There was definitely an old Shuri, a Wakanda Shuri in there. Anywho, yeah, that's kind of funny. So this is just kind of the Odin show, right? You just need your other characters big enough that they're going to survive all the shenanigans, and then Odin does Odin stuff here. Not very complicated. Yeah. Why aren't they spawning in? This is just rude. So what?
This is awful.
Yeah. So what's happening here, guys? And look, he's heals up from it too. That's hilarious. What's happening is every time Ceci takes out an enemy wave, the Professor Xavier, the Dark Professor X, loses 25% life. So that's what's happening here. All right, well, at least you get to do this ult. This is going to be a tasty one, too. Oof.
Are there infinite waves if he's healing?
No, it looks like he's only healing up to 50% over and over again. It's just trying to rebalance so that Ceci has to do all 4 of the waves, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's hard stuck at 50% now. Yeah, there you go. And the last wave is just I was so sad when I saw this as the last wave because you literally one-shot the Apocalypse last time. Are you about to do it again?
Yeah.
You are. That's the last wave of the last note. It's just a goddamn apocalypse and an Omega Red Phoenix Force that Odin mows down like yesterday's hand minion trashed. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Oh god. But that's it,
And
right?
that's it. Yeah.
That's it. Why don't you show us the Starjammer team? Because people who really love Crucible, again, it depends on what you're getting from your coin store, how hard you're going on certain leaderboards, which kind of characters you're going to bring in. I like this because I feel like I'm getting a better balance between mutant, bio, and mystic characters. I shift Mephisto off. I bring Kahori. I have 2 bio characters on this section, 2 bio characters on the Cosmic Villain section. Because I don't have... Well, I guess we have Patriot. Patriot's a bio character from the Liberty team. But besides him, there's no other bio characters. Right? So that's 5 bio characters. I kind of like that. But you like Starjammers. I like this too. So again, you have a bio character in Groot. You have another mutant character in Havoc. And then you have a tech character in Howard. And I believe Howard and Havoc are both 3 costs, so they're not expensive by any means. And then you get to just dunk on people in Crucible, which is probably the most fun thing to do with Overpowered, right?
Yeah, exactly. Overpower is amazing.
I hate you. I am throwing every match to run away from the top end right now. Until Gear 20 is more reasonable. I'm just running away from the top 100.
Well, I mean, that's what you were doing before Gear 20 came out, so.
Oh.
Listen, I'm a prepper. I was just doing it ahead of time. That's all. All right, so this is the Starjammer team. What's curious here, guys, is that Crucible rules are active in both the Cosmic Villain and the Cosmic Hero section. So the Starjammers are actually like uniquely awesome here. They have the speed stat from Havoc, so you would definitely want to bring Havoc. They have Howard's anti-speed bar, as well as his anti-speed stat. And I believe, like the Vigilante team, they don't need the whole entire team here to get it done. Well, I guess you know what? I guess they do, because the Landry did not stop them from spawning with speed. Yeah, that they only have a fake Shuri. They don't have a Black Panther Shuri. Somebody coded the wrong Shuri on this node 100%. That's too funny. Oh, somebody 100% coded the wrong Shuri on this node.
Hey, Doc, don't die.
He's kind of getting smacked around a little bit.
Yeah, I think Johnny mentioned like Fortifier on Howard for this one.
Makes sense. He's eating every single mind control, and he's not really enjoying it. Whereas I think the Miss Marvel Classic ate all the mind controls last time, and because she just heals up like crazy, she just stomached it. I don't know. I don't know if Starjammers are going to get through this next wave. This next wave is so scary. It's a spooky one.
Especially because people with smaller Howards as well, people would more likely have a bigger absolute A-Force.
That's true. Oh, Howard's actually in trouble. So my thing with that is when people say like, well, I don't want to bring in Silver Sable because if I bring in Silver Sable, she's going to be a lower star level and she's going to get wrecked and that's going to suck. The reality is, if you're not in Dark Dimension already, by the time you are, you're probably going to have more stars than your Silver Sable. By the time the normal person reaches Cosmic Hero, Howard's going to be farmable. You're going to be able to get him to 7 stars. So I wouldn't be too concerned with like, oh, I don't have this character currently maxed out, so what's the point in that? It's going to take you guys a while to get into the Professor X clubhouse for sure. Myself as well, so don't worry about it. All right, this has been half an hour. Thank you so much, Ceci, for walking us through everything. I had a couple other people message me as well about their experience. I'm not going to name drop because I'm not sure. All right, also I want to give a shout out to a couple other people that reached out to me after sharing their experiences. I'm not going to name drop because I'm not sure who wants me to name drop and who doesn't want me to name drop. But it sounds like Ceci's experience was the same as a lot of other players. It was very much autoplay with the right team. And if you didn't bring the right team, like you brought that old man Logan, not a lot of fun. But if you followed the recommendations to the letter, pretty easy stuff. All right, final question for you guys. Ryan Jacobson, in one of the last strike spots, he had said like the general manager of Scopely.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
He's your employee.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He had said that they learned the lessons from the Apocalypse Saga. I don't love shoehorning in the Vigilante buffs to make them be the only team that works. I don't love the fact that Liberty looks like they will probably be the only team that works because they give the Shadow King clones 100% speed bar instead of, say, giving them 25% speed bar. Then you can have your Nightcrawler go for theirs. You get a speed bar on your Old Man Logan, you go nuts, right? Do you think that this Professor Xavier saga is better than what the Apocalypse one was? Because we don't have to use exact teams. We have a little bit of leeway, but there are some hidden buffs in there that kind of rub me the wrong way for sure. What do you guys think? Start with you,
The
Ceci.
question, yeah. So the question is the next city team that comes out going to be able to do this well without the buffs?
Yeah.
And we'll see, but I don't think so.
Because that might be the team people want to bring in, right? Or will they then
Yep.
have to activate whatever that team's mode is into the saga as well?
Yeah, but that's the problem is then you have to go back and actually recode and spend time doing that, and it's a waste of time. If you just sort it out so that if you design the nodes so that your current team that you're trying to sell works well, and then other future teams like city teams can work, then that's great. Instead of secretly buffing them behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The communication, and they've been claiming transparency, is very important just for us to know what we're getting ourselves into. All right, Scotty, what do you think? How do you feel?
I think they have learned no lessons. I think this was actually almost worse because they put these secret traits on the nodes to make certain teams work. So it basically is the same thing, but just more mystery of who to build. I don't know. I liked the APOC one at the time. I think when they kept it around too long for newer players to have to build crappy teams, that was bad, but I enjoyed it at the time.
Fair enough. My initial reaction was I was very honestly I was outraged that the Vigilante team had their hidden raid stuff, but I understand that as far as city characters go, I still should probably rather invest in vigilante characters than I should invest in, say, Black Cat, or instead of Spider Society, or even instead of Sinister Six, because those characters they are falling off. Vigilante with the new stats will have some use, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. Anyway, this video is super long. I have to edit out all the leaked DMs I just spilled to you guys. So I'm going to go edit this. Thank you guys so much for your time. Anything you guys want to tell the people before we head out?
Yeah, Overpower's fantastic. Stop complaining about it.
Oh, he's the worst.
Okay, go.
Yeah, one last thing.
Okay.
They don't give you enough mutant gear to G20 Professor X.
You know what I have to say to that, Ceci? Overpowered's trash. Get fucked, nerd. Bye.